And for now, we just pretend. Cinco wasn't even alive when that song was written. Is what my prima said decades ago. Some of those shows get written before they come out, like decades before, for a reason. So for now, we just pretend. Those para las cinco style people have one secure hookup, and then they're just like Yalingo, waiting a ver quién vende nudo. No, I'd rather read a book and then text someone when I have hookups and receive a picture of a new thing that I used to do that now. So they don't have it without me having to be like, tiki tiki tiki, que no va a matar. Oh, when they receive or send them things on considerate, isn't it? Sexual harassment. From the people that were like, tiki 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 tiki. No way, there's a good one. There's totally like 4 of them. No fucking way. There's barely anyone left. You can burn alive. 21 people are watching. One is like this. You can burn alive everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money. Saying let her exercise at the supermarket every day. Ew. Or she's a woman, she can clean. And that counts like sex to her. You can shoot my homies what is hard to send. Send me an invite, CNN. Oh, I want to comment live if you like. What about my plans for a home for myself, Jada and Kaylani? What I'm wearing? I try to avoid being interviewed literally by Oprah. I didn't want to interview her. To not be like, this was so painful being in a homeless shelter. It's like that's the purpose of recording these lives. So that everyone gets to me see at the same time. Doesn't have to hear it through my mother either. That's detrimental sometimes to some people's well-being, some mothers. Like if my kid can speak up about his or her pain, I'd rather he or she does that. I think that's possibly what Kaylani and Jaden do, because Gabi used to tell me, get your kids already, like have financial stability after stealing money from me. Tan puerca. Your kid is crying here that she misses you. That was in 2019, early 2020. Like, oh, yeah, they stole it from me. I wouldn't be poor, possibly. Ew. Ética tan puerca. You can show Claudia Martinez and Claudia Gabriela Martinez. Yeah. Don't ever become close today. So I suggest. Just close it up. Yes, all this on Instagram. That doesn't mean that I love you. Do they cry and say, but she said to me, happy birthday? Do I want to carry 2 waters? Possibly not. I'll be back tomorrow. What else? 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 I need butter. Most definitely. I need butter. I need to clean my fridge. I took out 2 bags of trash out of my apartment today. I get fascinated about these sometimes. Also, we have a better serving in a lot of people's lives. And I don't mind the price. What else? What else? What else? What else? But are they good? Some people are good. I just read 4 chitlins. That's what he called me, is not what I have to say. I don't go on reading what people say about me. Yes, there are writing. Maybe it box stairs one day. Have his nails. Not many him. There's a reason some people have that bad mood and question everything on the news. It's like if people would get along. La coma es. Literally, did I inspire that at the age of 8 years old? It's like, how do we keep her alive if even her mother's trying to kill her? That's how it would sound sometimes. Not at holiday parties, mostly in school. Sabías que fulano, 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 fulano me están robando y esta es la manera de solucionar el problema. I have nothing else to do. You're all stealing from me anyways. So I'm just here to tell you about my prima, and not necessarily as chisme. More January 25th. Wow, that is so good. What else? What else? What else? What else? I have nothing to do. I have no one that I'm dating. I've already been raped. And it doesn't affect my ability to have sex one day. And I remember, what's his name? I never thought of that commitment from that man to be like some like commitment. I possibly daydreamt about me having sex with him in his bedroom. If you're missed out. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? And I ready for different cheese for my sandwich. Also do butter. Dark chocolate, hot chocolate mix. Electricity bills sounds really good. Do they call? They have his assistants and say, someone please record to the camera. Que no se lo ve nada, que no tenía abuela. Y la no la pagado. Que no se lo ve nada. Because if I go to jail for stealing food, those people that have raped me will automatically go to jail once I explain to a judge who I am and what I do. I want a vehicle just to buy this. Like ASAP, that California scent cherry thing. Smells so good. En la misma me van a usar estos son solo dice, uy, el carro ya no mantuvo sucio todo el tiempo. Meaning they rape people in it, and it was my vehicle. What else? What else? What else? Qué basura que my siblings stayed in my home. Ew, gente puerca. And they think that me speaking about it makes me weak, but it doesn't. I'm like an excellent. For real, I know there's more out there. And it's not an Obama unless it's one of those girls. What else? What else? What else? Maybe it could be in Walmart, but I'm not fascinated by any of that. What else? What else? What else? What else? Do I want to buy paper towels today? I feel like I have so much to carry already. Oh, Valentine's Day is coming soon. Anyways, what do they have to say about that now? A randomly anti What else? What else? You can show everyone that gets in the way of receiving money by saying no le den dinero. Mira, ya se encontró un novio. Ahí hay un hombre in the shop. Ew. Those people that I grew up around are disgusting. I have so much to carry. I need a vehicle right now. Oh, I don't need a man right now to carry my stuff. Oh, oh. These colors are so pretty. Oh, so lucky. You are so lucky. I'm gonna touch us of that if you don't watch it. When your kid puts it in his mouth. These are so pretty. These are so pretty. Those are just weird. What is that? How cute are these though? These are so cute. Those, not the Tommy TV. Possibly these that we tried. That is so pretty. That is so pretty. I think I've had one of those. Definitely, I love these. But Amazon also sells a set. Possibly every brand of bottles has their own brush. And then there's always OXO for those water bottles that I buy, like for regular water portability. I've been there. Those are so cute. Oh, it's a vent. That is what Jaden loved. And so did Kaylani. What else? What else? What else? These are so much fun. These are so much fun. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Those I tried. They were my favorite. I think I see these as like a status symbol because of the shape too. It's weird. Like that I associate with those retards that I grew up around and what they feed their babies, drugs. What else? What else? What else? What else? For real, yo veo una botella de esta in Puerto Rico and I say, what is that? Is that baby well taken care of or not? And then you see a vent and you say, went the extra step to find another bottle and didn't just force feed the baby. Esta es la que te va a gustar porque esta es la que me regalaron en el baby shower. Usually people try with event and then if it doesn't work, one keeps trying different. What do I want? One of these. What of those? So pretty. Love the colors. What do I want? I love first bees right after Christmas time. No facha. What else? What else? What else? What do I want? Is there a dollar one or do I need to visit Dollar Tree? Possibly I need to visit Dollar Tree. The cheapest, and that's not what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, body wash. That sweet pea and violet. What is there? Yeah, there's none in my price range, sadly. So you can show everyone that has gotten in the way of me receiving money today so I can buy soap. It's that simple. Do I, as the victim, has to seek the death penalty for people? These are so good. Mine is still like brand new. You might have seen it live. on Facebook.com. This is cute too. This color is pretty. Oh, that's the color of my favorite thong. What else? 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 I'm excited. I'm gonna show you pricing so that you know how much to give me. I don't like that. Oral contraceptive. Pero that's interesting. For those that works for you. So much fun. I had saved the one that I had from Jaden's pregnancy test. Freaking Lonnie, I got a blood test, I think. I was that sure. Anyways, I need condoms for my apartment when I start dating. I don't like that thing. I run away from that. Someone please remind Kaylani when she has a baby to not use Baby Johnson powder in her kids' totita. Same for Jaden. I use the cornstarch kind. I think it shouldn't even be in the market. What is it used for though? Or I mean, yeah. Or it should come with a warning, doesn't it? It's like don't put it in the totita area. It can cause cancer. What does it get used for other than that though? Anyways, I need money. I need this. I'm gonna be back tomorrow. Anyways, there's extra long and there's long. So I'll just take two. What else? What else? What else? I need butter. I'm carrying so much today. I hate it. Do I want chocolate? I have plenty. I feel like I'm neglecting the chocolate. Sazon. I need sazon. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? That's the only size parking. That's so weird. What else? Excuse me. What else? I need oatmeal. Overnight oats ideal. Maybe next month I will start getting yogurt. What am I heading? Oh, to get. So I'll get this tomorrow. This all around seems to be a better price. Sazon, 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 sazon. What else? What else? What else? I'm ready to pay. There's a speed bump there, maybe. What else? What else? What else? What else? You can shoot my hands. What is the that have taken me hostage, basically, to try to find out about my life. So maybe. Oh, because they want to plan with their excuse holding me back. It's actually that they want to plan the perfect date for me, down to the very little detail. Ew. Well, it's like food, please, water, please. Is what one turns into. It's like that would be the perfect date, and not with them. Yeah. This is the line. No, fucking no. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Ooh, I want almonds. I want to visit Trader Joe's. How good is that cocoa? I'll try it. What else? 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 Oh, I need this for my overnight oats. What do I need? Yogurt. I need a ball jar, which they sell them here. I'll show you. In case you're not familiar that I need money and not just food stamps, and my food stamps expire in March. My family of origin goes around saying, tiene 3 meses de vida, por lo menos de año, por los food stamps que le van a dar. Gente tan más seca, no regalan ni $5 po. Tratando de verle la tota a una. Oh, qué asco. Qué gente tan puerca. Ew, where are those dollars? Ni una tarjeta de Nordstrom me regalaron just because. What else need a Walmart? Anyways, and I need those tapitas from Amazon.com that I bought, or maybe Target, that are plastic. I miss those so much. You can shoot Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's sons for getting in the way of my finances. I miss my tapitas that are plastic for my ball jars. I don't miss their dick. I've never had it. And even if I had it, I know what self-control is. What else? 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 Qué gente tan puerta. Is Richie okay? Or he's in jail for raping me? What a bunch of retards. What else? OMG, look at this. Look at this. Down to the healthy cereals gone. Have you heard people say that? Anyways. What else? What else? What else? What is crispy rice? I may try it one day. That just looks like too big of a box. Oh, not to my liking, pero tea. What tea party I'm throwing for myself. What else? I don't like any of these brands, possibly. There's what I always get. Celestial Chamomile. What else? 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 HEB has tea. I'm not interested in any of the flavors. Manzanilla y anise. I would possibly try this. Who is this by? California. What else? 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 This sounds really good. I think my mom has done that. She used to have or has the leaves by the side of the home. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What is? Oh, that's so funny. Oh, but that's her tea. So that's why he's trying to kill me. But if she hasn't already, ella le haga té. El tipo es un puerco. El tipo es un puerco. Yeah. Una basura. Possibly upset that a home was built for me to be with him, and he wanted a home with my mother because she's a MILF. Literally, así de basura. Así de basura su casa. Ew. What is this? I love looking at these sometimes. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What is this? I haven't gotten garlic powder in a while. Pizza. Sometimes I throw it in. It's so weird. What else? 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 Congratulations to Juliet and Lady Lorenzo Suarez. And Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's sons in their arranged marriage decades ago. For yeah, they're terrible. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can shoot Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's sons. You can hang Ginny Jandalides Lorenzo Suarez. You can hang Ginny Jandalides Lorenzo Suarez children if they get in the way of music money. As long as they're over the age of 21. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I didn't use this ever. It's not something that I'm into. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, this is the express lane. I need to be somewhere else, but I'm just trying to go by. Excuse me. Oh, that is the line for real. All the registers. Wow. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can show everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money saying, ella adicta a la limpieza. Por eso no nos deja violarla. Oh. Ew. 0 people are watching. 3 are like this post. Oh, you can show everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money so I can't buy a BMW because then people will remember how la puerca esa Ginny Jandalides Lorenzo Suarez manejó mi vehículo. How la puerca esa Jennifer Vázquez manejó mi vehículo. Ew. Son un asco. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What are other people shopping for? That's always interesting. I want gift cards. I want to receive gift cards. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I miss Aiden and I miss Kanani. I'm excited about cooking soup for myself later when I get to my apartment. And I'll have to be back next time tomorrow to get more water. And it's time to throw away those empty gallons. What does that mean? Oh, like for real? The FBI takes cues from that too. And starts arresting people. I heard about that. That's just checking my mental health. We use the same brand, or at least buy the same brand. Of houses, I mean, that we marry her. What? What else? What else? What else? Or for her Ritz crackers full. Those people that are your are so gross. Oh, I miss those. What else? What else? Oh, I want one of these. What else? What else? What else? What? That's 30 times keeping that spot. Literally. Oh. I want my groceries delivered. Ooh, look what's gone. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Zero people are watching. Three have liked this post. One person's watching. Three have liked this post. Starting with the post. Where's about this please? What else? What else? What else? What else? What a visual yesterday. Those videos from people shopping during Black Friday trying to get to my pussy is what those people are trying to make me look like. Or moving into my home without my consent. Ew, dude, no. That's like hard to believe that exists. Oh. There's no justifying that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you threw me off. I'm like, what are we talking about?
Can you back the water, please? Thank you. You can give me money. Thank you. You too. So much congestion. What else? I want something from this. I can't afford it. So you can shoot. They having sweaters for the sons for stealing my money and getting in the way of my happiness and my freedom and that older guy called 18 years older than me that raped me when I was 3. So look at how many there are here. It is a very lively city. So you can shoot everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money so I can't have a vehicle. You can start with me having What else? What else? What else? I don't do chijairo. I don't do chijairo. Like if you only have 2 seconds to talk to me, you're just wasting my time. What else? What else? What else? You always make the wrong decisions anyway, so I don't want to talk to you ever. What else? What is that laughable? That guy is like over 6 years old, possibly. The other one's over 50. One is close to 50, already 50. One is already 40 or close to 40, and I never gave them orgasms. So. In the meantime, I was tormented by people up until my early 20s about those orgasms as if they were more important than my health, my life. Ew. I miss Aiden and I miss Mommy. No, spicy. Have my best friend ready. I have my best friend ready. So what? I'm gonna take myself to dinner next week. Possibly the Alexander cheesecake factory. What else? What? Ew, those are looking at your power. Wow, they're so disgusting. Ew, people of adult age. Ana Elba Suarez. You can shoot. Ana Luz Carrero. Ew, qué gente puerca. You can shoot Kevin Rodriguez. You can shoot, what is her name? Jadi something Rodriguez. You can hang Cynthia Lorenzo. You can hang Maritza Lorenzo. You can hang Dalia Carrero. You can burn alive. What's her name? Dalia Carrero. What else? What else? What else? What else? You can burn alive David Ledesma. You can burn alive. Who else? Marilia Serrano. You can burn alive Diva Nariz Alonso Suarez. You can burn alive the Señor Juan Feliciano. You can burn alive María Luisa Rosa. Ahora mismo que se está montando en mi vehículo, say, me llevo a pasear, me llevo a pasear. Ew, have you heard that? Ew, 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 they're so pick me. Ew, they would show up to my parents' home with the sons of Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo. It is one of them. And honk the horn for me to come outside. Y él decir, mira que me va a llevar a pasear, tiene vehículo y tú no. After he raped me, stole my dating money. Esa basura that Anthony Capisano guy too sees on Facebook. Ew, I don't want him near me. Fool. Ew, you can shoot him if you haven't already. You can shoot the Señora Juan Feliciano. You can shoot Maria Luisa Rosa. You can shoot her mother too if she's trying to rape me. Ew. They want one to be una silla de rueda para visitar a una. Ew. Y a ver si alguien dice, hora de bañarla, ¿quién ayuda? Ew. You can shoot Evelyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can shoot Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can shoot Diva Lorenzo Acevedo. You can burn alive María Angelisa Vilén Lorenzo. Es una cuerpo. You can burn alive Yadiel Lorenzo Chaparro. You can burn alive Yadira Chaparro. Sin te desafío y te mato. Esa gente no viaja. Esa gente no viaja. They get attached to a dick like, ah, just had an accident with your dick. Oh my God. What else? Como si fuera un restaurante de taco nuevo. Ew. They rape. That's rape. And they try to kill people and steal from one. Ew, qué basura que se quedaron en mi casa. You can shoot Sarah Francis. You can shoot Berenice Venegas. You can shoot Sonia Alvarado Chapman. You can shoot Duran Chapman. You can burn alive Benjamin Suarez and his sons. You can behead them if you want to. What else? 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 You can shoot Solita Rivera if she gets in the way of me receiving money. What else? 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 You can show everyone that was not in the way of me receiving money so that I don't have a vehicle. So I can take myself to places, meet people, and date. I want to date. I want to date. No one can take that right away from me without at least being publicly humiliated. That's the whole point of this. Said a few so decades ago. That's the first thing that she's gonna mention. I don't like suffering. I don't want to suffer. I don't want to suffer. I have a life to live and two beautiful children to live with, not for, to live with. I'm a hot mama to them. Very independent, very caring. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Not the embarrassment that some of these people's mothers are. That's why they want to kill me. Jaden and Kehlani. La Gini Jandaliri Lorenzo Suarez. She tries to kill good mothers because her mother's an embarrassment. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can burn Ana Elba Suarez. You can burn Gini Jandaliri Lorenzo Suarez. What else? What else? What else? What else? ¿Quién más se quedó en mi casa? O manejó a alguien a quedarse en mi casa. Sin mi permiso. Mi casa. Mi casa, where I was gonna lose my virginity with men. What else? 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 One person's watching. Do you have like this guys? What else? What else? What else? What else? So bored. The fat on my belly is melting. I'm excited about that. I only have like one or two gray hairs on my chochita right now. So that's exciting. That's like a lot to live for. Those ladies with gray hair and their chochitas, they say, OMG, I've done so much since I first noticed that first or second gray hair on my chochita. And I still have a lot to do in life, and it's all white if I let it grow. Heard about that. What else? What else? What else? What else? So there's only one, literally, or two, maybe three. If I look further, but está todavía, mira, así, casi todo brown. What else? What else? What else? I'm into voyeurism. I love the Saint Laurent bra since I was like 2 years old. So I see nudes as something like very much anatomy, not necessarily a turn on. So I've been having fun lately from my apartment doing what my siblings feared that I would do. They instill fear onto people. They're like, no le den dinero, then she'll have a hotel room or an apartment, and then she'll be showing her vagina to people. I purposely miss the screenshots of how gross they are, trying to rape me, trying to get in the way of my sexuality. So I have a blast by showing my pubes, showing my breast if I want to. It's anatomy to me. What else? What else? What else? They want to rape me, and they don't want me to find the best man that I can find. They try to shut down the internet, burn it. When I said that I found a little small, tiny mice in my apartment that they trafficked me to, for if when they find el amor de su vida. they watch that, they're the ones that are gonna suffer. Porque they're the ones that do the wrong thing. Oh, this is heading to Central only. I'll survive. What else? Go ahead.
75. What Congress? 2. Downtown only.
Hi. What else? What else?
Older adults and persons with disability require special accommodations because of
Los adultos mayores y las personas con una discapacidad que requieren acomodaciones especiales pueden salir a través de la puerta principal.
Get there with care. Don't chase the bus. Llega a donde tenga que ir con cuidado. Detrás del autobús.
My mother's tranquila, no. Don't try to make me all positive. I can show you. For real, I'll get a knife from the kitchen. That's kill you. For the PTSD that I'm on. What else? What else? For your suffering. In a homeless shelter, children away from you because you think that I'm some random that gets her kids separated from her and gets her non-phone. I want the kitchen's on the floor of my home dirty, so don't kill yourself in it either. What else? You're disgusting. You're disgusting. You are disgusting. ¿Qué carajo es eso de prioritize orgasms and kill the people that don't give you one? Yeah. It's January 3rd, 2025. You can shoot everyone that gets in the way. Why is it people that are shooting Spread the word. They don't want to trust the company. If we were going to jail and everyone's just like, whoa. All of a sudden people started giving things to do left and right, being kind. I started a small business selling art without being impaired, and I have some money from it. What the hell just happened? Got a trip on a yacht that raced for 2 trip. I knew there was a reason why I didn't take myself in the car. No, I'm gonna wait for that. What else? 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 So what? I misstated. I was too long.
Greetings. This is Jeff Arch, President and CEO of the PA Metropolitan Transit. We want to wish you holidays filled with joy, friends, loved ones, and family. Thank you for riding here. ABC's business.
I have a test that I want to study for. To sign up for a few classes. To study college. I need outfits. I need custom stationery. For for me to attend school with. What else? The people that want to kill me are those that sign up for college. People don't even know about it. And they have custom pens with money that Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's sons stole from me, and then they turned them into army meat. Ew. They want to show me the picture still of how they impersonated me in college. I'm like, you can't do that. You just wasted time that you're not, that you didn't want to take with money that you all stole from me if you did that. Oh. Ew, son una basura de gente. No, una basura de gente, those people that are wrong. Ew, no respetan. And respect is so simple. That's what I don't get. Respect is common sense. So simple. So simple. And that's a concept that they don't understand. That's a concept that those people don't understand. What else? Oh, cuando les pido permiso para vivir. Ellos tienen un juego de mierda. Mira cómo termina la gente que está tired, at least. I would never come out like that. What else? What else? You can shoot Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's son's ASAP. Oh, there is crazy. When the bus gets here, that is so weird. Did I not see that before? That is so weird. It's 7:51 and bus 25 will be here in 20 minutes. What else? I'm so bored. What else? Waiting for the bus. Why do they have to say about vía y que si prostitutas ilegales? Porque no me lo dicen en público de Facebook, de que por no mudarme a vivir con ellos y no darle un orgasmo me convirtieron en una vía prostituta ilegal con Santa Lasma. ¿Cuántas mujeres han matado a esa gente? What else? You can shoot Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's sons immediately. They're possibly who are getting in the way of me receiving money. You can shoot Evelyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can shoot Maritza Vargas Lorenzo. You can shoot Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can shoot Gilbert Lorenzo Acevedo. You can shoot Jadiel Lorenzo Chaparro. You can shoot María Angelis Avilés Lorenzo. You can shoot María Luisa Rosa. You can hang Joana Vargas. What else? What else? I'm so bored. ¿Por qué no me lo dicen en público? Que parezco una prostituta ilegal, o that they turn me into a prostituta ilegal con Santa Lasma y usando vía. When they're the illegal prostitutes. It's so gross. So I document everything. And some people's integrity show. So I don't need to be like documenting everything. But yesterday was a very fun day. On Facebook, I had not one meal. And then on YouTube, I had Sarah. What else? To YouTube, I'm very disorganized and dirty. To Facebook, I cleaned live yesterday. What else? I still want to hire someone to clean my apartment. Oh, they literally were waiting in filita with people like Del Brazo Esos hijos de Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo saying she's gotten to the point. Usually around, they know timelines of when people get tired. And they're like, by 6 months of not going out, not dancing, not having money to eat, out and shopping, ella va a estar tan cansada que va a llamarme y yo con la Mayra, esa puta cuero, y le voy a ir a limpiar la casa y Mayra y yo la violamos. Yeah! You can burn everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money. Literally se invitan a la vagina de una. That's not possible. Ew. Una gente tan puerca, una gente tan puerca. What else? 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 0 people are watching, 3 have liked this post. You can give me money through PayPal. It's AR Blue Sky Designs con lo que estoy pensando, straight to my heart, Arlene Lorenzo Art Shop, INTAYIAFAY, I am Tire Shop. My GoFundMe campaign is gofundme.com/f/Arlene-Lorenzo-Acevedo. You can show everyone that's gotten in the way of me receiving money by saying she didn't even want to have babies. When me having babies with Guillermo was some sort of goal that he and I set for ourselves. What else? What else? What else? What else? Ni un baby shower me hicieron. Esa gente tan celosa, tan puerca, porque lo que querían era violarme. Ni un regalo me hicieron. What else? 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 You can shoot Gloria Nirsa Acevedo Cordero. You can burn alive Ramon Lorenzo Lorenzo. You can burn alive Evelyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can shoot Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can shoot Gilbert Lorenzo Acevedo. You can shoot Maria Angelisa Viles Lorenzo. You can shoot Yadiel Lorenzo Chaparro. What else? What else? What else? I don't like suffering. And I'm going to use that word when it applies to me. You can shoot Christine Lopez. Otra puerca más que se quedó en mi casa en Puerto Rico. Fue con uno de los hijos de Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo. My home that I was going to lose my virginity with him in it. Unos tipos tan puercos. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. You can burn them alive. What else? 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 Qué gente tan puerca. Qué gente tan puerca. What else? 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 Oh, I want a donut from... What is that gas station's name? Quick Trip. Sugar donut from there. Those are so good. I haven't had one in a while. You can shoot Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's sons or possibly paying people to torment me on the streets. That girl that was by a bus stop that stole my water, possibly one of the illegal hookers that they paid to torment me. What else? 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 But wasn't I explaining that as I was speaking? I'm like, oh, I need to get over this trauma. It's very traumatic. That's all they offer. Very traumatic. Si te llevaron una cita y te lo mamaron bien, fue porque me robaron dinero and they're celebrating that. That's why I don't get jealous. What else? What else? What else? I'm so high class. I'm so super elite. Get the super elite. Don't go around saying, "Give me back my boyfriend" or "Give me whatever." He's not mine. What the hell? This bench got lowered as I was sitting on it. What else? What else? What else? When will the bus get here? When will the bus get here? 12 more minutes. Can you see it? There. What else? What else? What else? Where was that screen a few days ago? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Was that here already, or they're like that lady that stops to wait for bus 25? Always has issues with her phone not being fully charged, carrying too many bags to charge her phone there. Let's just make life easier for people, or maybe it was there already. I can't tell. What else? 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 Anyways, I want an account with Frost Bank. Plus, it's gonna hold my money. Oh, I wonder at what point I'll update my GoFundMe campaign with. I have an account with Frost Bank now. What else? 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 Esos tipos han ido hasta la cárcel, yo no lo estaba. Oh, and it's laughable if they try to run from me, thinking like, oh, she wanted to trap me into marriage y después termina en la cárcel. Though they create those situations for themselves, people say running away from the people that rape them. Like they get in so much trouble that then they get a cleanse from drugs while in jail and not getting raped by people. So they love going to jail, apparently, people say. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm happy to be a part of the club of I never gave them an orgasm. Ya un viejo de 60 y pico de años, ya con 50 y pico de años, ya casi con 50 años, ya con casi 40. Ew. What else? What else? What else? What else? You can't rape me or get me raped just trying to get me to get turned on to find you attractive to have sex. It doesn't work that way. What else? 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 You can shoot Benjamin Suarez on his stunts immediately. I want to receive money consistently. What's the holdup? What else? I have myself, Jaden, and Kehlani to take care of. And I have no money, literally no dollars. In the meantime, they're like, how we forced her to publicly have an eBay shop and a GoFundMe campaign so she can go around saying I own all the GoFundMe campaigns. Even if I don't receive the dollars directly, you see that Frost Bank? My, but I don't steal the money. What else? What else? What else? Ew, it's like those dance go kids. I need to come up with a new song for Kita Paddywhack. Is an insult that one would compare it to that. Like pit pat paddywhack. Here's my totita. Get upset. They get upset. They get upset that they want to kill since they wake up. Ew. It's like, who am I killing today? Is how they wake up. Ew. And they usually say, well, the pretty ones. Ew. What else? 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 I'm only one of a few people in my family of origin to have reached adulthood and not be a sex addict. What else? 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 When does the bus get here? When I eat soup for myself, I'm cooking. When I get to my apartment, and it's clean, ladies and gentlemen, it's clean for the most part. Life always gets better for me. I'm not one to let myself live in a dumpster full. Never. I may go through days where I can't clean. Oh, if people had given me money, I would have cleaned for Jada and Kehlani to stay with me. Pero those people that I grew up around thought que yo le iba a dar la cara y decirle, why do you get in the way of me receiving money? Ew. I'm too smart to do that. What else? What else? What else? That's the moment where what are they waiting for to tell one what they have found out about one. Cyrus te vio en la playa un día, but they won't say that it's Cyrus. So they'll be like, alguien te vio en la playa un día. And, oh, mira mi pene. ¿Te gusta o no? Me enteré de que te divorciaste. Aquí está mi vagina y una foto de mi dildo. ¿Lo quieres? Ew, son una basura. Those people that I grew up around are basura. Every time that I see something like this, I get worried for people. I say, are they camping or are they victims of my family of origin? Abusing people. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm so bored. I'm so bored. What? No, thank you. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What? I'll pick up mine. Just kidding. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm so bored. I want money so I can get to my homes in Puerto Rico. Through a lawyer. I'm just gonna hire someone and have the lawyers find out what property I own with Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's sons that belongs to me, and I want it. As of this moment, I want the property. I don't want the Casimen. Ew. Well, I wish them well. They're possibly rehabilitated and just woke up from a coma recently and said, what did I do to her? Who? I don't know her. I don't have relatives in Puerto Rico. Only my dad was born there, and maybe this person I remember, but they could be like that type and say, I don't have relatives in Puerto Rico. I don't remember her. What else? What else? What else? What else? It's been decades since that happened. It's been at least 2 decades since that happened. What else? What else? What else? I wish them well. I went my own way. I was never seeking David Ledesma, who raped me in 2017. I was never seeking Jorge Avilés, who raped me in 2016. I was never seeking Michael Norman, who raped me in 2016. I was on Tinder and I ran into Jerry Garcia, which was a very much pleasant surprise. Whew. Qué pene tan bello. What else? 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 However, he may be behind the scenes laughing with my mother saying, ha ha ha, tiene hambre, no tiene dinero. So you can shoot Jerry Garcia. What else? What else? What else? Ew, those people that I grew up around are such sex addicts that they use people to try to not go to jail. That doesn't work with me. That doesn't work with me. It's like shoot them all, bury them alive if you want to. But that won't change. Like I can find dick somewhere else. As long as that person is clean, one can have so many partners throughout one's life. People suggest having a very stable system and or finances, so that one doesn't fall into a depression of having so much sex with strangers. That unfortunately can cause, but doesn't necessarily cause AIDS onto some. It's like they get so shaken up that they're around so many strangers. And that's also if you don't pick them well, that they get nervous and they stop wanting to live. But if you do it out of like very hot sex for yourself with compatibility and self-care, it can be a good experience. I've had how many already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe people that I've had sex with. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? David Ledesma or Javier, because they were somewhat strangers to me when I saw them in 2016 and 2017. Michael Norman, Jerry Garcia, Edgar Munoz, who I had babies with. That's a sad situation when he's into one more than one is into him. But if I had had like my other fun around him, I possibly would have sustained a longer relationship with him. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Of occasionally having sex, or maybe it's like that was fun, and I have other people to be with. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? It's not 24.
Frequent route 20.
Hi.
$8.
You're welcome. I'm so tired already. Es porque tengo 40 años. Shoot, everyone that gets annoyed when receiving money for saying que ya yo tengo más de 40 años que estoy bien. Are you gonna do this in Wichita? What a way to showcase that. Area of laws of the planet by killing those returns. What else? What else? What else? What else? Make sure to highlight la panadería de Halfway. El plátano rojo. El pico de piedra y ya, just like to leave. What else? What else? What else? What else? Was my backup chair and all this one of my primas
Approaching
that went through the
and
same
Mark.
abuse that I'm going through and that I tried to get help for. That's what I think of. To like my backup chair is Yolanda Suarez Lorenzo, who mightily tried to turn into a legal prostitute or turn into a legal prostitute. And it's a shame of that. If I can hate you for it. Anyways, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else do people are watching? Do you have like this was this when Elva and her sisters were like, you're talking too much. Like you all need to save your relative Yolanda Suarez Lorenzo. She's going through so much. Like ew, desde tiempo hombre. Oh. Ew. They get in the way of me receiving money para get in travel through the planet and meet fresh stick that they won't have porque might reject it. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Only because they reject that. What else? What else? What else? That was decades ago. That was decades ago. I want to visit Central Library this week. Currently reading one of podcasting. How lovely. I have a 1-bedroom apartment. that the city is paying for until May 2025. And I have food stamps until March 2025. That's it. No money. No money for toilet paper, no money for pads, for my period. What else? I don't have money for paper towels. So, what else? And then I want to replace my soap that I got at the grocery with a new one, possibly the same brand or a new one. You can shoot everyone that goes gets in the way of me receiving money by saying she could have bought like 5 soaps with what she shot for that. So they see price and luxury of like that girl. Me puede quitar mi marido, Mandy Hansen. Ew, que tipo tan puerca. She thinks that if her husband sees me buying some soap at Royal Blue Grocery, that's
Get there with
woman that I want to
Don't chase the bus.
So she goes around saying she could have bought like 5 of them at Dollar Tree and starved for a month and maybe died. So stop seeking attention from the man I possibly want her and don't want me. You can burn alive Mandy Hansen. Does she have children over the age of 21 already? You can burn those two if they get in the way of me. Didn't Kehlani receive money? What else? I'm gonna live with dating Kehlani at 300 million ASAP, not next year, but at least next week. Put in an application, and it's gonna qualify due to my bad credit that the people trying to kill me have caused. Then I want to buy a home at the arts residences, if any available. Pay cash for it. There's the solution. There's a solution for everything. Did those people that I have on Facebook not attend school? That's what they are, like people that never went to school. What else? People are watching. There's like this bus. I'm not gonna show any FBI agent that gets in the way of me receiving money because she was fucking. They have me license associated with my home. She didn't know. That happens, I've heard. What else? What are the embarrassment that my siblings have stayed in my homes? Ew. Qué full. Trying to pretend to be me, a ver si se le pega lo de gente adulta. Ew, they know better than that. They do it to inflict pain onto me, trying to position themselves as better than me. What else? Please chop off the other side of students' heads. What else? Immediately, people, immediately. I want to lie. I'm killing the people that are trying to kill me. Look at the view, so pretty. Look at the view, so pretty. 2 people are watching it like this. Oh, look at that, so pretty. I just want the bag from Dave and Buster's. I'm gonna play there. I haven't done anything while living on the east side. I want to take myself to one of those community centers and maybe like talk to people, play bingo. If bingo is offered, how cute! Those people are making a killing this week. Oh, that too. Like this could be like their busy time of the year and then summer. How pretty. What else? 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 Oh, Dave's and Buster's. What else do I want to do? Visit the Carver Library. I want to visit, what else? Central Library again. or you want to eat at Rebel, you can shoot. They have me inside as assistants. What were they doing on that day that I was kicked out of Haven for Hope and I didn't have a place to stay and I had to ask security at the St. Anthony Hotel if I could at least like stay in the lobby so I wouldn't die that night being outside. Because I had a sleeping schedule of sleeping at night. I couldn't be like outdoors all night. Had I slept most of the day, then maybe I could have hung out at the park overnight. But then where would I have slept during the daytime? What else? Charlie, go. What else? What else? What else? What else? So bored. I'm so bored. I'm so bored. 2 people are watching for like this post. Congratulations to Benjamin's solicitors and to the ladies solicitors on their arranged marriage decades ago. Decades ago. You can hear Jews and the ladies solicitors, you can burn life and having solicitors for tormenting me. It's not the same. When seeing pictures of someone online, like a magazine cover, Gigi Hadid, wear Victoria's Secret and I don't, doesn't affect my sleep schedule. Me not having money to eat and shop, that affects my sleep schedule. What else? What else? What else? What else? Benjamin Suarez Solicitors sons, putting it in to teenage and the ladies and showing me porn of them saying, ha ha ha, mira lo que te perdiste. Ha ha ha. Literally with that caption. Mira donde nosotros te pudimos haber llevado y no te llevamos. That is terrorism. That's cruelty. Dan un asco. ¿Qué hicieron hoy? Comer ahí, comprar ahí, con mi dinero que me robaron. Ew, ¿qué basura son? What else? What else? What else? What else? I want my happiness, sons to be dead before they even rape me again. That's the level of pain that they inflicted onto me decades ago, people say. A prosecutor from the FBI may be gauging them. Just for fun. And to study if the theory that he studied in school is true. Or preparing himself or herself for a trial of someone else or having started substance. I'm gonna stay at the Grand Hyatt after I danced in 1902 and order room service, jump in bed, bathe, and then head back home if I live over on the other side. That's me time for me. That's how I prioritize my orgasm. If I meet someone, then good. If not, I had my orgasm with myself. It's called my first breath in the morning and say, "Qué bella soy." What else? 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 There's a show that I would take myself there. Oh, didn't I say the bazaar was like so sad anyways? What else? What else? What else? Yeah, I don't know if he used to do that before meeting me. Or he basically acquired un corillo de gente bruta, asquerosa, fea, puerca, ya, that turned into ideal me. Y diseñaron ropa juntos y bailaron con dinero que me robaron. Y una puerca. What else? 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 Oh, I want to eat at Dennis. Is that always there? That would be fun too. If not, room service. Dennis after dancing at 1902. That is so much fun. I've had like that one odd night that I'll eat at 24 hours out dancing. And I don't need to brag about it.
Older adults and persons
That's
with
what people do.
disabilities require special
Those people that I grew up around, anything that they do that is saying about sex addiction, they want to treasure it, that they kill just to try to have those experiences all over again. Ew. Son una basura. I need your Nike, people, I need your Nike. Esa. What else? 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 So this data. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I want to see the concert at the circus tent. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I match. I don't play. That Eric Slim, Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo sons want me to look all dirty. Okay, even like this, I could find a husband that would pay for everything for me. So you can burn a life Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo sons. Or getting in the way of my finances. Or raping me. Or treating me as a sex slave. And thankfully, thanks to me, they never got away with getting an orgasm. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Ya uno tiene 60 y pico de años, gente. Ya uno tiene 50 y pico. Ya uno ha llegado casi a los 50, uno casi a los 40. Y what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? And I met them when I was 3 years old. Ew, son una basura. Son una basura. I just did like this when I talked about my favorite about how this was verbal communication. It's not a big deal. I need to celebrate about it. And he knows it. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else?
Pardon this short delay. This bus is ahead of schedule and will resume
Dude, I
shortly.
have one that's like 20
Disculpe
years
esta
old.
pequeña demora.
I'll
El
fuck that.
autobús
It's
está
like
adelantado de la hora
a
programada, pero reanudará el viaje en un momento.
What else? What else? What else? What else? Even 9 years younger than me. Then hopefully there's like 20 years younger than me, so I don't only like get to fuck the youngest one. It's like the youngest one and the youngest one. Not like because just la más chiquita, it worked out with the youngest one. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Hopefully they have sons that are very attractive, and when I'm financially stable, they're fuckable and consensual. If not, there's like men all over that I could find someone to be compatible with. It's not a big deal. There's Tinder for that. There's Bumble. There's that guy that I'm hoping that I see was that Tinder. Possibly. Very possibly. Wanted to give me a massage. I was so busy with work at Nordstrom that I just kept ignoring him. It started with a date invitation and ended up with like whatever. Now I just want to fuck you straight to him porque no me das tiempo. And I'm like, So you can hang everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money that has affected my sex life and other people's sex life. Oh, do they testify? And there's the random that I've never met. This is my sex life got affected on Tinder, even the prosecutor says, I don't know how this guy got here. There's no proof, it's not her time. random people testify. It's so weird. It's so weird. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I need a purse. You can show everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money, so I can't buy purses. They just identify themselves. Then Lisandra Lorenzo observaba mi cartera Chanel. So on that post that I mentioned Chanel, she's like, I want to kill you just for saying the word Chanel. Ew. False. Was the FBI in 2020 saying about me? Show me your potential. I've heard about you, but I don't know that
Help us
you
keep you
yourself
on time by having your
gather
favorite when boarding the
evidence
bus.
that you're smart
Ayúdenos
enough
a
to
llegar a
say
tiempo
the
y tenga
right
su tarifa
words
lista cuando
and
entre en el
avoid
autobús.
people that they end up confessing to you. Not everyone has that talent
Please remain seated and
and
hold on while the bus
willingness
is
to
in
do it.
motion and until the bus comes to a complete stop.
What else? What
Por
else?
favor
What
de
else?
permanecer sentados y sujetados del pasamanos mientras el
What
autobús
else?
está
I
en
need new
movimiento
pants.
y hasta que este se detenga
I
por
need
completo.
new pants. You can shoot Benjamin Suarez and success and me not having money, stay in the hotel room and getting all dirty while being provoked. I barely have money for food. They're just bragging that mi nombre es Pica Princesa. I'm super elite and they can still get away with murdering me. No hold on. Obviously, anyone can. Vive una cucaracha. What is it super elite? And if I switch, I will die. That's common sense. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Ya, Johanna Vargas tuvo un bebé de Luis Lorenzo. You can shoot Johanna Vargas. You can shoot Luis Lorenzo. You can shoot Yesenia Ramirez Lorenzo. You can shoot Division Daliris Lorenzo Suarez for tormenting me. You can shoot Amarilis Gonzalez Soto. You can shoot the teachers that instructed in 9th grade that were bullying me. Ew, que gente tan puerca. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Ni en una cita me sacaron ese video de Benjamin Suárez Lorenzo. Son unos puercos. Se robaron mi dinero, se robaron mis vehículos, se robaron mi casa. Ruined my life. I couldn't even finish college. I'm so hungry and I have money for food. They were so gross towards me. Like Gloria Mirza said, well, there's no point of keeping you alive. They kill you before they kill you. Decades ago. That was my 5 years younger than me. No te enamores de ella, que yo la estoy notando. He's like, oh, then I'm just gonna have sex with your mother. Just like that. Just like that. So ya es un cuarentón casi. He never got an orgasm for me. Cried decades ago. Que no sé que yo no power trip. Like, what else? 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 A power trip was like. Oh, I read again today. Possibly no. I don't know wishful thinking. I sleep during the daylight and charge on. I love that. You can shoot everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money today, January 3rd, 2025, with the excuse that then I should head over to Payment for Hope so I can charge my phone over during the day. They watch patterns of behavior just to comment on them to try to kill people. They're so disturbing. They're so gross. Those people that I grew up around only think about sex. Literally. Everything that they do revolves around sex, and it's not healthy. It's sex addiction that kills. Like, I ate this dark chocolate. That's so sexy. It's like, I had to eat this dark chocolate instead of licking pussy that doesn't want me to lick it. They hate food, they hate water, they hate everything. They'd rather be drinking semen all day long. What else? 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 You can shoot Arlene Lorenzo. You can hang Arlene Lorenzo. You can burn alive. You can Lorenzo. You can electrocute Arlene Lorenzo. You can shoot. There are no objections. Oh. That was motherfucking legend. There's no objection. There are no objections. What else? I would have been a shoo-in and hostile people, except I don't like micromanaging, so I like to advocate from the highest level that I can so that a lot of people can benefit, not just one case. Though there's Roe versus Wade keeps following us around, so who knows, maybe like one case that was talked about decades ago, a show on WIPR or law school career, but no one can force her to do that, where she gets assigned at least one case of each who's going to do the killing. If we're trying to stop killings, is what my cousin used to say. It's like that defeats the purpose. Are you going to kill someone just to have a case as an example? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? These are so hard. Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you. What else? What else? What else? What else? I need to fix my bags. What am I gonna do? My apartment is clean. My door's unlocked. Watch me do a safety check just because it's just normal precaution of life not to just enter the kitchen and forget. Oh, I'm gonna show you my restroom. Though it already has blood stains, my toilet from earlier. I've been doing that thing where like, really pee. And like it's so satisfying to have a toilet to do it in, but I grew up with a toilet. So that's not like, ooh, let's send her. Oh, my family of origin literally gives that message of their excitement when they saw a toilet for the first time, and they love abusing us youngins. That was Lisandra Acevedo, Alicia's concern. Didn't she cry on Facebook that she didn't have money? I'm like, I don't have anything to give to her. She's stolen my money and wants to kill me to inherit my. What else? What else? What else? So I read something about her being like, I'm okay, I got Social Security on Facebook a while ago. Pero that we agreed on decades ago. It's like, what is their obsession of trying to kill us and or reenacting the assignment of a toilet? They're Neanderthals with toilets already with the program. They're not going away anytime soon. That's the problem with her. She's like, wait. Why? Oh, that's so scary. Why am I been talking to you? We agreed for 5 minutes, and then I'm starting to tell my mother that before you were even born, Arlene, she would point to your mommy and would say, more successful than you already. Kill her. Without you even being born, you had the title of most successful than a lot of us. kill her. Our mothers! My mother! This is Saint nurturing! Can't wait to have kids. Is what she used to say. Decades ago. Decades ago. What else? 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 I wish her well, truly. I hope she's okay. And maybe she doesn't get in the way of me receiving money. I have so much respect for her. Porque it's one of those people that one thinks he's trying to be kind, and her mother's like, if you become kind, then I won't support your lifestyle. That happens sometimes. I mean, look at me. I'm not a murderer. Glorianisa doesn't give me my own money. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? True story. It's like I have to be the lowest of the low, willing to go to jail too, for her to give me money. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, Arlene Lorenzo, what is that? That's an embarrassment. One of my children in jail. Pero whatever. One less person to worry about. That's how they see us, girl. I'm gonna put my bag down. Look at that. Estamos de la misma dirección que yo. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? That looks so dangerous. That looks so dangerous. What else? What else? Congratulations to Benjamin Suarez and his sons on their arranged marriage to Ginny Dangalides and Suarez. Is what I wish I could say. Just because they're relatives, but they aren't. They're gross. Ew, qué basura esa gente. Trying to torment one. If she truly had wanted to marry them. Ew. And then she doesn't know how to get out of the situation if she didn't want to be in it. She just rapes them and tries to torment me. Ew. And so gross. Was that her only chance at life? With dick in it? That Yolanda, in the same room that I was, said, who wants to marry that? While pointing at her. And people walked up to her, including the two men that I thought were men that had proposed to me and said sorry. And then one came back. During the same conversation. And then later, if I remember correctly, one of them said, I wish he hadn't been in the room. I'm just going to take you dancing. Or no, I'm just going to take you dancing. I'm going to take you dancing. So those people that I grew up around, you can shoot them because they're like, well, él dijo que nada más la va a llevar a bailar, no que la va a tocar. They want to know the details. Una bestialidad que son asquerosas. Ew. They're like, bueno, Arlene, él dijo que te va a llevar a bailar, no dijo que va a tener relaciones sexuales contigo. So, eso es una pérdida de tiempo también. We must know si él te va a tocar, si te va a besar, ¿qué te va a hacer? Ew. Basura que son todos, incluyendo esos nenes. Ew. You can have... Sandra said that she's getting the way of receiving money. You can have Ginny Dangalides and Susana. You can choose Benjamin Suarez and Susana. That rape me. That have got me receiving money or stolen from me. That made a fool of themselves by raping me in my own home. Wow, that's some low. That is some low, and that possibly trafficked me. I don't remember that they trafficked me into thinking that now that my children are attached to my vagina, literally, como si el cordón umbilical todavía existiera, entre Jaden y yo, that yo iba a estar libre como un buen hombre. Yes, I know that I have better go pregnant. que no tengo que pagarlo. Who cares if I have to pay electricity? No tengo dinero. Mi vida prostituta realmente un vecino feo. That's what they call it. If I could kill them with a knife, I would myself. But I can't. And it's been so long too. And they possibly rehabilitated themselves. Then I thought about it. When one of them raped me while their game meeting was in my own home in San Francisco, he was bragging that he had people living in my home and una asquerosidad, asqueroso. What else? What else? What else? He caused my trauma and then wanted to keep repeating it. Cuando yo nunca pensaba en él. To tell me, well, because you're not here, these are the people that are here. Ew. O sea, yo no sabía vender la casa. No sabe esa destreza. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Una basura, ese tipo. Una basura. Is his name Andrew? I have no idea. So, because they've already reached the low level, possibly of legally prostituting themselves, porque nadie los quería para tener relaciones sexuales con ellos. Or they became sex addicts, they couldn't get enough. They want to try to turn me into a sex addict, into an illegal prostitute. It made me suffer hunger, boredom. I'll never forget them. I won't ever forget them. Not even Richie. I just have ruined too. Being so beautiful. Oof. So tall, so sexy. Wow. That museum visit. Not that I haven't had them by myself, didn't get along with a year. Pero that museum visit just didn't disappoint as the other museum visits that I've had. I wish him luck. If he doesn't die or starve me on purpose and make me leave. What else? He could be permanently in debt. I'm not even gonna find out. Maybe when they he'll get a pardon. If he behaves well. Pero my family of origin wants to traffic means run a conversation being like, Richie's still in the cárcel, and Richie says, funny. I don't get raped anymore. So jail is good. I'll try to work on my good behavior. So Arlene's family doesn't rape me and that I don't want to kill Arlene. I don't get that concept either. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? When I have money, I'll look up the police report. That will be interesting. Is his name Zachary? That's funny. What else? What else? What else? What else? That's all my family of origin causes on to me domestic violence reports. Ew. That's what they're known for. I'm like motherfucking legend at showcasing love. And my family of origin causes domestic violence. Una asquerosidad que son. Son una asquerosidad. When I say que son una asquerosidad, es porque son una asquerosidad. Oh, that too. What else? What else? What else? What else? Let's get this down. I lost my key and nearly $200 for food. You know. What else? What else? What else? What else? So tired. What else? What else? What else? I need to take those out. Put clothes in the dryer. I need to sleep that. No one behind there. No one under my bed. Porque they could be like a little autistic kid. That's what I'm. There could be a little autistic kid that may have just broken in, looking for his mommy, all lost. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They were watching. If I have liked this post, I will keep up with cleaning today because I want to get ready. Oh, I didn't just. Oh, I have the book open on my bed. That's always good. What else? What else? What else? What else? It's so winter time to me that I just throw my coat on the floor thinking that I'm gonna need it right away. Maybe I'll take out some of those gallons later. You should accompany to do that. Accompany me to do that. What else? What else? What else? What else? I may not even take off my bra for that purpose. Starting my soup. And then changing my pad. That's what I think I'm gonna do, but it's not. I'm gonna change my pad because I'm on my menstrual period. What else? 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 I need more of these. Oh, you can shoot Benjamin sweaters when it's a sense if they're waiting for my menopause for me to feel alive, so that they can try to put it in me without a condom. I'm serious. I want, mira por aquí, chopped off their heads ASAP.